Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now coming to an end of 2024, and I would like to go over my top 10 films of the year. There are a lot of films out there that I missed out on that might have made it onto this list if I saw them, but unfortunately, I just can't keep up with all of them. If there's a movie out there that you think I should check out and make a full review on, please let me know down in the comments.
Yeah.
Monkey Man. It's one of the few John Wick inspired films that wasn't a complete ripoff. It took all of the right lessons and created a unique setting mixed in with Indian culture. Something I feel that a lot of films are missing out on, especially when they are taking inspiration from a very, very big franchise such as John Wick. I think we can all appreciate a film that does not have another underworld of secret assassins that go around getting paid with gold. Being Dev Patel's debut film really shows just how much talent he has as an actor and director, but also just as a hard-working person. The fact that this film was almost shelved and thrown into streaming obscurity offends me, and I'm so damn glad and grateful that Jordan Peele saved this movie and got it into theaters. The action, aesthetic, culture, characters, theme, plot, narrative, this is everything every single John Wick ripoff wished they could achieve. If you haven't seen this movie yet, please go and watch it. It is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, I get it. I know. Shogun is not a movie, it's a show, it's a series. You can't put it on this list. Well, first of all, I can do whatever the fuck I want with this video. Secondly, I don't watch that many TV shows to really feel invested enough to actually dedicate a video towards. This is the only TV show I 100% dedicated myself towards, and it deserves a spot on this list because everyone needs to watch this show. And no, not because I'm just some American shill with a fetish for Asian cultures,
which I think is a real fucking problem in the West, but that's a topic for another video.
but because Shogun is not a romanticization of Japanese and samurai culture, but instead a fascinating exploration of a very real time period in history. This show understands that violence needs to matter. It needs to be impactful and important. So when it does happen, you understand the levity, you feel the weight of the consequences that are going to come from a character's actions. And you gotta love the show's more visceral and realistic depiction of Japanese samurai culture in this time period. When the show was still releasing episodes weekly, it was one of the top 10 search on Google because everyone was trying to figure out if this is what actually happened back then. This is a series that does not disrespect you in any way as a viewer, with amazing characters, a brilliant plotline and narrative, and oh my god, beautiful cinematography and aesthetic capturing this time period. Very rarely do we get such masterful shows that end off so gloriously that it leaves you 100% satisfied, and maybe even though you want a little bit more, you don't need it. I really hope we don't get a season 2. This show is just perfect in every single way, and it will go down in history as one of the greatest series of all time. The Wild Robot. What a surprise this film is. It's the only animated movie on this list, and I'm so glad to have seen it in theaters. More often than not, modern day animated films are dedicated towards kids, so they remove a lot of mature themes that could attract adults. But thankfully that is not the case with this film. It maintains a sense of innocence for children whilst also delivering mature themes that I think many of us as adults and as children grow up can appreciate over time. It is a visually stunning film with a beautiful narrative that everyone has fallen in love with, filled with brilliant performances that had me in awe once I saw the entire cast. I mean, holy shit, I can't believe that was them voicing these characters. Like I said in my review, this is the best animated film of the year, and DreamWorks once again just delivers on every single level of what it means to make another fucking animated classic.
Married a couple of crazy bitches, raised a few crazy bitches.
Be a friend to me.
Very rarely can I call a movie perfect, but His Three Daughters really earns that title. Because this film never tries to be anything else other than what it already is, delivering a very beautifully powerful story that so many of us in the entire world can understand. The exploration of how the love of a single father manages to affect and change three different daughters is just fucking wonderful. This movie is so beautifully self-contained with amazing performances that proves we don't need some grandiose plot in order to keep audiences interested. All it takes is a bit of relatability, brilliant characters, and you'll have yourself an amazing film.
But sometimes it's a little hard.
Like what many folks out there have been saying about this movie, it just hits way too close to home, literally to me. While I may not have been the same age as our main character is in the mid-2000s, I can definitely say that I remember the vibes. I still remember that era of the internet boom and what the early days of YouTube used to look like. I love the fact that the kids in this movie felt like kids, and how they're transitioning from middle school to high school is also just so realistically portrayed. How often do we get accurate depictions of teenagers going through their life, changing, getting new friends, you know, just transitioning as a whole? And again, I must elaborate just how deeply connected I feel with this movie because it follows an Asian immigrant family, as mine is. So many of the lines spoken by characters in this film just resonated way too close to me and actually had me tearing up because I just couldn't believe it. I can't believe I'm finally seeing a movie that actually depicts me. I am not saying that you have to be Asian to understand or appreciate this film. As a matter of fact, I think everyone should watch this. Not only to revisit the mid-2000s, but also understand what life was like for many of us who grew up during that time period.
Me go fuck myself, me fuck myself, you go fuck yourself and your fucking mother, motherfucker!
Wow, Sean Baker continues to be one of the most inspiring filmmakers of our time, and I'm so goddamn glad the studios are still supporting him. Anora is such a welcome surprise that did everything right in such a surprising way. I wasn't expecting to get as invested as I did into the characters and the story until every single one of those beats just hits. The writing for this movie is just fucking phenomenal. Each of the characters all sound like their own kind of person. I mean, holy shit, this is next level writing, next level dialogue, aided with performances that bring each of these characters to life, making them feel all the more real, as if they really are real people. This movie manages to somehow be intense, sad, romantic, hilarious, all over the place, everywhere, mixed in together, and it just blows my mind. Anora is one of two of my favorite dramedies of the year, which is followed up with What can I say? I love Anora, but A Real Pain just connected with me so much more. Not only is it a brilliant depiction of positive masculinity, but also, as stated in the movie, a fascinating exploration of multi-layered levels of pain. Watching two brothers go through internal struggles together while embracing external pain really just resonated with me and my relationship with my own brother. There is just something about the simplicity of this film that adds to the overall effect of the themes, the plot, the narrative, and our characters. When they reach the concentration camp in this film, the silence is deafening. As a matter of fact, every single moment of silence throughout this movie is deafening. Being the second or third film that Jesse Eisenberg has directed, it has me excited for his next project. If you haven't seen this movie yet, please give it a chance. It is such a mesmerizing and powerful film that I believe will at least leave a mark on you.
I'm ready.
Guys, it's a Robert Eggers movie. Do I need to say anything else? I just got done rewatching this movie in theaters last night, and it just really helped me understand it all the more better. And I gotta tell you, man, this shit still hits. It is so fucking good. The visual style, the aesthetic, the performances. Oh my god, this is everything that we've all been asking for in horror films. It's almost like Robert Eggers took a lesson out of Asian horror films, because holy shit, especially more specifically Korean horror films, they are terrifying. Here he delivers a masterful film with his own style that many studios really need to take notes on. Seriously, how many terrible garbage horror movies came out this year that I think everyone is just embarrassed to have seen? I feel like studios might just take the wrong lesson from the success of Nosferatu and think, oh, vampires are cool again, which is just gonna be very fucking terrible for us, because most likely Hollywood is just gonna oversaturate us with terrible depictions of vampires. While I may have said that the ending is a bit underwhelming, that does not take away from the overall delivery of the horror. Everything happening in this movie, especially with Lily Rose Depp's character, is just fucking horrifying, and I just horrified, absolutely horrified. I feel like most people just don't understand this concept. The real horror is not the monster, it's how the monster affects the people around it. And while Nosferatu is a terrifying motherfucker, it's really how he affected this town that adds to the overall effectiveness. Yeah, I'm a Robert Eggers dick rider, what do you want? I'm excited for his next film that he has yet to announce, and I'll be there. I'm gonna be there. There are very few films that leave me in total, utter shock. And The Substance did that. When I walked out of that theater, I was just in complete, total shock. I just could not comprehend what the fuck I just watched. I was at a loss for words, and I needed someone to talk to about this. As a matter of fact, I texted and called a couple people because I just needed to get out. I needed to get it out of my head, out of my mouth, just how fucking insane this movie is. I mean, holy shit! Holy shit! What the fuck was that ending? What the fuck just happened throughout this entire movie? It was awesome, but it was also insane. It is so damn rare that a movie gets me to react in such a way, and The Substance did that. It actually managed to get me just totally freaked out and in total awe because of how beautiful it is at the same time. Somehow The Substance managed to blend beauty and horror into this gorgeous blend of insanity, and everyone needs to see it. Everyone needs to understand exactly what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I am horrified of about this movie. Everything about this movie is just completely unbelievable. The fact that this movie turns into some kind of campy combination of Carrie and The Thing is just what? And I mean all of this in a good way. The Substance might just be one of my favorite all-time horror films ever now.
May thy knife chip and shatter.
Of course, Dune Part 2 is my #1 film of 2024. Did you think it was gonna be anything else? The director Denis Villeneuve is probably my idol. He is the guy that I am watching, studying, learning from every single day. He is the man. He is the master of cinema right now. He delivered one of the greatest sequels ever made, that being Blade Runner 2049, and then he delivers another amazing sequel, if not one of the best sequels ever made for another film, a different franchise. Dune Part 2 is basically like Spider-Man 2. It does everything better in every single way and adds to it. Were you not just creaming your pants within the first 5 minutes of this movie? Were you not just in awe, in orgasmic awe of how insane this film really is? This film is everything I wanted after Part 1 and more, and I cannot believe we live in a time where movies like this can exist. When Paul was delivering that speech in the South and everyone just rose up and screaming Lisan Al Gaib, I wanted to do that in theaters. I wanted to stand up and scream and shout and join in on the fight. Did you not want to do that?
Interestingly enough, it's kind of scary how easily it was to kind of influence me and probably other folks too to join in on a fight that is probably pretty terrible for the whole world.
But who fucking cares when you have Muad'Dib leading the way? Right now, Dune is my Star Wars. Disney got me fucked up after all the bullshit they're pulling with Star Wars and everything that's going on, that I'm just constantly consuming stuff, more stuff about Dune. I've rewatched this movie probably like 10 times, and each time I'm just learning something new. I am still at awe on every single scene. I am just riding that dick, that worm, giant worm PP, you know what I'm saying? I will never forget the chills I felt in those final 5 minutes. Just not even breathing, just trying to take in as much as I can because of how epic it was, how epic this movie is. Tearing up because of just how visually and audibly insane this movie is. Walking out of that theater, struggling to breathe and just wrap my head around what the fuck just happened. How goddamn awesome was that ending? Holy shit, this is my movie of the year. That was my top 10 list of 2024. I really hope you guys enjoyed my rant on all these movies and really the start of my channel. Going back, it's very clear how much I have evolved and adapted, from thumbnails to editing to, you know, the lens as well. I'm planning to expand upon my content and have some video essays talking about certain movies that I feel like talking about and revisiting. And I've been meaning to start a new series, basically ripping off Chris Stuckmann's HILARIOCITY reviews, because he's not doing that anymore. So I'm gonna come up with my own title, just with the same concept.
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Stuckmann. I love you.
I also want to thank each and every single one of you that have liked, commented, and subscribed to this channel that I am still trying to figure out. The folks out there who continue to watch my videos, even though my repetitive ass keeps saying the same thing, I am so damn grateful. All right, onwards to the new year. I'll catch you guys next time.